Well, hey everybody. I'm out in our camp. Decent hike in today. Whew. Sorry I'm breathing so hard, but just come hiking out of the river. And yeah, I'm soaked. Oh well. Hiking on the dry ground help squirt some of the water out of my shoes. The dog, he's not liking the water too much. I think it's his footing. It's a lot of boulders. So I figured take him for a walk out here through this old logging road. It's blocked off. Nobody can drive down here anymore. Been that way for a little over 2 years. But as you can see, it's not grown over much. They did a good job when they made this road. As you can see, this place hasn't been farmed in, 15, 20 years. When I was younger, there were campsites all throughout here. And you used to be able to drive out here and camp all over along the river. But as always, people ruined that by garbage, going where they weren't supposed to in the vehicles, all kinds of that. Dog wouldn't go in the river, so heck, walk on some land. Beautiful out here. I'm out here with both of my sons. We're all hanging our hammocks down by the river. One's fishing and one's sleeping. So I figured I'd go for a walk. Try to get the big guy here to cross the river with me. This side's mostly cliffs, but the other side's got gravel bars and such, but really big boulders, not the greatest footing. So he didn't want to try. Yeah, this is how long ago they logged it right there. Look how rotten that old stump is. It's an ant's nest now. Whew. I need to slow down a little bit. Yeah, we hiked in early this morning. And sat around, got set up. We'll be here a couple more days. But I wanted to come down, have a look around, see if any of the old campsites are existing outside of the one we're in. Like I said, there used to be campsites all over out in here. But obviously you can tell it's been 20 plus years since the size of these trees since they blocked people from coming out here. But yeah, people used to drive down this road anyway. So they pretty much just blocked this road off so nobody can come down here anymore. I'm sure that'll be the way it is for the next 30, 40 years. Or until they started logging these big trees down here. Then I'm sure they'll open it up, redo the whole road, and probably ruin even the campsite we're in. Just keep people out. Almost looks like one back in there. Hard to say. I don't feel like brush hogging. My legs are a little sore from hiking in here. Beautiful area. Some good looking maples. Lots of fir trees of all ages out here. That's what they farm, is the fir trees. As you can see, some of these trees are ready. Pretty good size. Good enough to cut for timber for the most part. So no telling, maybe next year when I come down here, they'll have all this busted open and be logging this stuff off. I know there's a certain distance from the river they don't log. And the river is actually not very far over there. 30 feet. I can hear it. Yeah, it doesn't look like any of the old campsites are still existing. And I know there's not real good access to the river because this whole section we've been walking is kind of a 15-foot drop off down to the river. Kind of some places the other side also. But there's a spot up here I want to go check. See if we can get down there or not. If it's a good spot, I might come up here tomorrow and do some fishing. Do love the trees. Dang. Yeah. No telling what he's sniffing. Other dogs, other wildlife for that matter. Oh. Nice bird feather. Too small for my needs, but it's pretty cool. Yeah. Quite a bit of trees. I don't know if they're just gonna leave them or log them. There's a good 30-year-old one right there. Most of these aren't quite that old. Like I said, 30 years ago, we used to be able to camp all over along this river. But you know, people leaving garbage and not really taking care of the land caused issues. Now it's closed. The only way back here is by foot. Which in a way, that's kind of nice. So we can come back here and enjoy it. Can't have fires out here. There's restricted areas year-round for fire. Which, you know, it being farmland, I kind of get that. And this intersection here, one goes back towards the river. The other one goes up and connects into another section of land. For the farmland, of course. Not seeing any really fresh tracks. Quad runner. See that? Quad runner ditch here. Some old deer tracks. Looks like some coyote too. Yeah, back here used to be one of the best campsites, but people just kept driving through it, ruined it. And hopefully we can get down close to the river. Well, maybe not. Dog can. Yeah, I can see all that mud. I'm not going down there. Having fun, bike guy? Yeah, you used to be able to camp all out in here. There used to be a couple sites right up in here. But people started using these paths to drive down to and into the river. And that's pretty much why they shut it down. Oh, beautiful area. Like I said, this road up here turns and runs uphill into already cut farmland. Well, they're already cut farmlands, but it runs out of these trees and into another short tree section. Yeah. Small coyote prints. Quad runners. I don't know how the quads are getting down here, but quads can find a way, I'm sure. Yeah, the river itself winds that way quite a ways, and before it winds back up. So this road doesn't, from here on, does not connect back to the river. Kind of loving it. It's, I don't know, late evening. Probably time for me to go back to camp, get the shoes off and socks off, and put my sandals on and dry my feet out. We haven't heard anything else. Every once in a while you hear a logging truck go by on the main road, which isn't too far from us. It's probably a mile from here, but over on the other side of the river there's a switchback that goes up and around the hills back there. And all we hear out here is logging trucks. Like I said, it's an active farm. Just enjoying it. We'll say this. This is dead Scotch broom. Obviously they've been out spraying to keep it down, but back there I can see more. So obviously they didn't go very deep into the woods to get rid of the stuff, but they obviously sprayed it though. It doesn't usually die that young, so definitely poison. Which for us it's a very invasive species, and it'd be nice if they could eradicate it, but they can't. It's way too out of hand anymore. Too many people with property just not taking care of their land. There's a few species that are just not taken care of anymore. It's kind of sucky. Almost back to camp. This last section of woods. As you can see, this one, it's got some firs, but it's an area they just let go wild because it's close to the river. Out this way you can see there's a lot of, well, you probably can't see, maples, alders, a mix of firs. Pretty good. Well, we're actually camped here. They had the same problem here with people driving across and into the river, so they dropped all these boulders to kind of keep people out. Well, keep vehicles out, I should say. They originally had a big mound here, you can see, but it got wore down from people just driving out here, driving across, and driving down into the river. So, you know, they dropped the big boulders to keep that from happening. And our camp setup is pretty simple. We got son over there fishing, hammock. They set up their tarps. I'm probably not going to, so mine's sitting over there, and our mess of camp. Pretty good, but we're right on the river, so that's a big bonus. Got good access going down there. Yeah, I'm just kind of out for a walk. I'm not far from camp, just a little ways downstream. Pretty cool. Been a good time. It's late evening on our second day, and heading out tomorrow. Been kind of fun playing in the river, and caught one small fish fishing. That's about it. Been quiet. Oh, always gotta love being by the water. Yeah, a little rough going. I'm in flip-flops going through all these boulders, but not bad. Worth it. Water's pretty cold, which, you know, with it being pretty cloudy day. We haven't spent a whole lot of time playing in the water. But it's always fun. Like always, I'm looking for rocks. There's actually a white one. Don't see much of those. I'll keep that. This isn't exactly the greatest place for rock hounding. Pretty much the kind of rocks you see is pretty much what there is. Not been a good camping trip. I'm pretty sure my boys had a good time. They're both, of course, napping right now. So I figured it'd be a good time for me to get out. Been enjoying a lot of the, ooh, that was a bad step, the wildflowers. That's a pretty nice one. Oh yeah, that's a good looking flower. Lots up there. Not much going on in the brush. Some wild blackberries. Not much. Thistles are starting to bloom. Most of the wild blackberries aren't ripe yet, so no sense in even picking on them. Didn't have any luck finding any crawfish. I don't know if they're just hiding from us or we're just not having any luck. Lots of periwinkles crawling around in the water. Mosquitoes and flies haven't been too bad for us, which has been a bonus. I'm sure later in the season, as the water table goes down, that will change, at least on the mosquito part. But yeah, this is a nice shallow area you can walk out in. I'm already slipping around enough in my flip-flops. I don't want to fall in the water myself. Oh, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Enjoying it. Well, we're all cleaned up. Backpacks loaded, ready to head out. This was a good camp. I don't know why anybody has a fire pit here. You can't have fires, but it was nice to sit here right next to the river for a couple days. And yeah, so all cleaned up, plus some garbage. But I want to thank everybody for watching. It was a beautiful trip.